race session is at our Factor 2 conversion in Komatsu, Ida City, Oita, Japan. Tiensei Leighton is first. Felipe Farias is second. Kevin Woodward from Canada is P3. Steven Seibert is fourth. Eduardo Granado is P5. Matías Esteves is P6. Ezequiel Cardozo is 7th. Andreas Speck is 8th. Martin Steele is 9th. Zarko Cavalja is P10. Patrick Gaven is 11th. Lukas Sokolowski from Italy is P12. Gabriel Malvarez is 13th. Alex Soto from Chile is P14. Walter Phillips from United States is 15th. Edward Gilchrist is P16. Xavier Coleman is P17. Rufino Mayoral is 18th. Fernando Calabro is 19th. Gyorkan Gubbio is P20. Tiensei Leighton is first.
It's time to bring the action!
Kevin Woodward is second. Felipe Farias is P3. Steven Seibert is P4. Alex Soto is 8th. Lukas Sokolowski is P9. Eduardo Granado is 11th. Eduardo Granado is now 10th. Zarko Cavalja is 11th. Fernando Calabro is 15th, 0.3 behind Walter Phillips. Edward Gilchrist is P16. Patrick Gaven is P17, 0.3 behind Edward Gilchrist. Patrick Gaven passed Edward Gilchrist for P16. Edward Gilchrist is 18th, 0.2 behind Gyorkan Gubbio. Felipe Farias on lap 2 is P3, 0.3 behind Kevin Woodward. Steven Seibert is P4, 0.4 behind Felipe Farias. Zarco Cavalja is P10, 0.2 behind Eduardo Granado. Fernando Calabro is P14, 0.3 behind Gabriel Malvarez. Patrick Gaven is P17, 0.3 behind Edward Gilchrist. Felipe Farias is third, 0.4 behind Kevin Woodward. Steven Seibert is fourth, 0.4 behind Felipe Farias. Eduardo Granado is P9. Fernando Calabro is 14th, 0.4 behind Gabriel Malvarez. Steven Seibert is 4th, 0.5 behind Felipe Farias. Andreas Specht is P6, 0.2 behind Matías Esteves. Lukas Sokolowski is P10. Lukas Sokolowski is now P9. Alex Soto is P11, 0.3 behind Rufino Mayoral. Alex Soto lost 12th to Gabriel Malvarez. Gyorcan Gubbio on lap 3 is 14th, 0.1 behind Alex Soto. Martin Steele is P18, 0.3 behind Zarco Cavalja. Andreas Specht is P6, 0.2 behind Matías Esteves. Andreas Specht passed Matías Esteves for 5th. Gabriel Malvarez is P13, 0.3 ahead of Gyorcan Gubbio. Gabriel Malvarez lost P13 to Gyorcan Gubbio. Patrick Gaven is 15th. Alex Soto is 12th, 0.4 behind Fernando Calabro. Gabriel Malvarez is P15, 0.1 behind Patrick Gaven. Felipe Farias is third, 0.5 behind Kevin Woodward. Matías Esteves is P6, 0.1 behind Andreas Specht. Matías Esteves passed Andreas Specht for P5. Martin Steele entering the pits is 20th. Eduardo Granado is P8. Eduardo Granado is now P6. Ezequiel Cardozo is P7, 0.2 behind Eduardo Granado. Patrick Gavin on lap 5 is 13th, 0.5 behind Georgen Gubbio. Zarco Cavalja is 15th, 0.4 behind Alex Soto. Zarco Cavalja is now 14th. Walter Phillips from United States is P19, 0.5 behind Xavier Coleman. Felipe Farias is third. Steven Seibert on lap 5 is P4, 0.2 behind Felipe Farias. Rufino Mayoral is 9th, 0.2 ahead of Fernando Calabro. Fernando Calabro is 10th, 0.4 behind Rufino Mayoral. Patrick Gavin is P12, 0.3 behind Georgen Gubbio. Patrick Gavin passed Georgen Gubbio for 11th. Georgen Gubbio is 12th, 0.3 behind Patrick Gavin. Felipe Farias is P4, 0.4 behind Steven Seibert. Rufino Mayoral is P10, 0.3 behind Fernando Calabro. Georgen Gubbio is 12th. Georgen Gubbio is now P10. Edward Gilchrist is 12th, 0.2 behind Alex Soto. Zarco Cavalja is 13th, 0.1 behind Edward Gilchrist. Rufino Mayoral is 14th, 0.3 ahead of Lucas Sokolowski. Rufino Mayoral is now 13th. Felipe Farias is P4, 0.4 behind Steven Seibert. Edward Gilchrist is P13 battling Rufino Mayoral. Edward Gilchrist passed Rufino Mayoral for 12th. Zarko Cavalja entering the pits is 19th. Rufino Mayoral is P13, 0.2 behind Edward Gilchrist. Patrick Gaven on lap 7 is 14th, 0.4 behind Rufino Mayoral. Rufino Mayoral on lap 7 is P13, 0.3 behind Edward Gilchrist. Rufino Mayoral is now 12th. Patrick Gaven is 13th. Patrick Gaven passed Rufino Mayoral for P12. Rufino Mayoral is P13, 0.4 behind Patrick Gaven. Patrick Gaven is 12th, 0.3 behind Edward Gilchrist. Steven Seibert is P3, 0.4 ahead of Felipe Farias. Felipe Farias is P4. Edward Gilchrist is 12th, 0.3 behind Patrick Gaven. Felipe Farias is 4th, 0.4 behind Steven Seibert. Rufino Mayoral is 13th, 0.5 behind Edward Gilchrist. Steven Seibert is 4th, 0.1 behind Felipe Farias. Rufino Mayoral is P13, 0.4 behind Edward Gilchrist. Felipe Farias is 3rd, 0.4 behind Kevin Woodward. Steven Seibert is 4th, 0.2 behind Felipe Farias. Rufino Mayoral is 13th, 0.4 behind Lucas Sokolowski. Felipe Farias is P3, 0.5 behind Kevin Woodward. Rufino Mayoral is P13, 0.4 behind Lukas Sokolowski. Felipe Farias is P3, 0.6 behind Kevin Woodward. Rufino Mayoral is P13. Felipe Farias is P3, 0.5 behind Kevin Woodward. Patrick Gaven is P11, 0.8 behind Fernando Calabro. The leader has just finished the race. Tiensei Layton finished first. Kevin Woodward finished P2. Felipe Farias finished third. Steven Seibert finished P4. Matías Esteves finished 5th. Eduardo Granado finished 6th. Ezequiel Cardozo finished 7th. Andreas Speck finished 8th. Gyorkin Gubbio finished P9. Fernando Calabro finished P10. Patrick Gaven finished 11th. Lukas Sokolowski finished 12th. Rufino Mayoral finished 13th. Gabriel Malvarez finished 14th. Alex Soto finished P15. Xavier Coleman finished 16th. Walter Phillips finished P17. Edward Gilchrist finished 18th. The race session is at our Factor 2 conversion in Komatsu, Kita City, Oita, Japan. Maximo Campana is first. Emilio Poplawski is P2. Maui AC is P3. Cuca Valuto entering the pits is 21st. Jeremy Aldenir is 4th. Paulo Hamon is P5. Magd Saab from Lebanon is P6. Ricardo Jantarata is 7th. Vanta Black is 8th. Ricky Richmond from Canada is 9th. Tibor Tuss is 10th. Roberto Flores is P11. Juan Oviedo is 12th. Muhammad Daniel is 13th. Gordon Jacobson from United States is P14. George Stock is P15. Al Jonah J is 16th. Cuca Baludo is P17. Paul Haynes from England is P18. Santiago Vega is P19. Franco Sirio is P20. Pierre Nuhuk is P21. Maximo Campana is P1.
It's time to bring the action.
Emilio Poplawski is P2. Maui AC is 3rd. Cuca Baludo is 11th. Gordon Jacobson is P21. Pierre Nuhuk is 21st. Vanta Black is P3. Al Jonah J is P7. Ricardo Jantarata is 13th. Ricardo Jantarata is now 12th. Maui AC entering the pits is 20th. Roberto Flores is 15th, 0.3 ahead of Pierre Nuhuk. Muhammad Daniel entering the pits is 8th. Pierre Nuhuk is 16th. Muhammad Daniel exiting pits. Franco Sirio is P19 battling George Stock. George Stock is P19, 0.3 behind Franco Sirio. George Stock lost P19 to Paulo Hammond. Pierre Nuhuk is 16th, 0.4 behind Roberto Flores. Pierre Newhook is now 15th. Roberto Flores is P17, 0.5 behind Gordon Jacobson. Vanta Black is P4, 0.4 behind Ricky Richmond. Ricardo Jantarata is 10th, 0.2 behind Paul Haynes. Pierre Newhook is 15th, 0.4 behind Gordon Jacobson. Ricardo Jantarata is P10, 0.4 ahead of Muhammad Daniel. Muhammad Daniel is 11th. Ricardo Jantarata is 11th, 0.2 behind Muhammad Daniel. Roberto Flores on lap 3 is P17, 0.1 behind Paulo Hamon. Roberto Flores passed Paulo Hamon for 16th. Vanta Black is 6th, 0.1 behind Juan Oviedo. Vanta Black passed Juan Oviedo for 5th. Paul Haynes from England is P10, 0.4 behind Ricardo Jantarata. Gordon Jacobson is P15, 0.4 behind Pierre Newhook. Roberto Flores entering the pits is P18. Muhammad Daniel is 11th, 0.5 behind Paul Haynes. Magsab is 12th, 0.4 behind Muhammad Daniel. Muhammad Daniel is 11th, 0.3 behind Paul Haynes. Magsab is 12th, 0.1 behind Muhammad Daniel. Magsab lost 14th to Gordon Jacobson. Emilio Poplawski is 2nd. Jeremy Aldair is P7, 0.5 behind Aljona J. Pierre Newhook is 13th, 0.3 behind Cuca Baluto. Gordon Jacobson is 15th, 0.1 behind Magsab. Paulo Hamon is P16, 0.2 behind Gordon Jacobson. Paolo Hammond is now 15th. Gordon Jacobson on lap 4 is 15th, 0.3 behind Paolo Hammond. Emilio Poplawski is P2, 0.3 behind Maximo Campana. Pierre Nuhuk is 12th, 1.1 behind Paul Haynes. El Jonah J is 7th, 1.0 behind Jeremy Aldair. Pierre Nuhuk is 12th. Juan Oviedo is P6, 0.2 behind Jeremy Aldair. Pierre Nuhuk is P12, 0.4 behind Paul Haynes. Juan Oviedo is 6th, 0.5 behind Jeremy Aldair. Pierre Nuhuk is P12, 0.5 behind Paul Haynes. Paolo Hammond on lap 6 is 14th, 0.4 behind Pierre Nuhuk. Paolo Hammond passed Pierre Nuhuk for P13. Ricardo Jantarata on lap 6 is 9th, 0.1 behind Banta Black. Pierre Nuhuk is P13, 0.3 behind Paolo Hammond. Ricardo Jantarata on lap 6 is P9, 0.5 behind Banta Black. Paolo Hammond is P12, 0.2 behind Paul Haynes. Pierre Nuhuk is P13, 0.5 behind Paolo Hammond. Paolo Hammond is P12, 0.3 behind Paul Haynes. Paul Haynes from England is 12th battling Paolo Hammond. Pierre Inouhouk is P13, 0.3 behind Paul Haynes. Ricardo Jantarata is 9th, 0.7 behind Vanta Black. Pierre Inouhouk is P13, 0.4 behind Paul Haynes. Ricardo Jantarata is P9, 0.5 behind Vanta Black. Pierre Inouhouk on lap 7 is P13, 0.4 behind Paul Haynes. Vanta Black is 9th, 0.1 behind Ricardo Jantarata. Vanta Black passed Ricardo Jantarata for 8th. Pierre Inouhouk is P13, 0.2 behind Paul Haynes. Pierre Inouhouk lost P13 to Magd-Saab. Magd-Saab is P13, 0.2 behind Paul Haynes. Magd-Saab passed Paul Haynes for P12. Paul Haynes is P13, 0.3 behind Magd-Saab. Pierre Inouhouk is 14th, 0.2 behind Paul Haynes. Jeremy Aldeir is 5th, 0.3 behind Tibor Tuss. Magd-Saab from Lebanon is 13th battling Paul Haynes. Magd-Saab lost P13 to Pierre Inouhouk. Jeremy Aldeir is 5th, 0.3 behind Tibor Tuss. Gordon Jacobson is 15th, 0.5 behind Pierre Inouhouk. Gordon Jacobson passed Pierre Inouhouk for P14. Magd-Saab entering the pits is 12th. Jeremy Aldeir is P5, 0.3 behind Tibor Tuss. Magd-Saab exiting pits. Tibor Tuss is P5 battling Jeremy Aldeir. George Stock is P16, 0.2 behind Magd-Saab. Perry Newhook is P14, 0.3 behind Gordon Jacobson. Tibor Tuss is P5, 0.2 behind Jeremy Aldair. Tibor Tuss passed Jeremy Aldair for P4. Gordon Jacobson is P14, 0.1 behind Perry Newhook. Perry Newhook is P13, 0.7 behind Paul Haynes. Gordon Jacobson is 14th, 0.9 behind Perry Newhook. Perry Newhook was 127.6 faster last lap. Perry Newhook is 13th, 0.2 behind Paul Haynes. The leader has just finished the race. Maximo Campana finished first. Emilio Poplawski finished P2. Ricky Richmond finished P3. Cuca Boludo finished P17. Tibor Tuss finished 4th. Jeremy Aldair finished P5. Santiago Vega finished P18. El Jonah J finished P6. Juan Oviedo finished P7. Muhammad Daniel finished 8th. Vanta Black finished 9th. Ricardo Jantarata finished P10. Paulo Hammond finished 11th. Paul Haynes finished P12. Gordon Jacobson finished 13th. Perry Newhook finished 14th. Max Saab finished 15th. Franco Cirio finished 19th. George Stock finished 16th.